Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter. It is Sat Chat time. Remember, disclaimer, this is not a tutorial. This is just a random chit-chatting about everything that's gone on during the week here on the Frugal Crafter YouTube channel. So have a seat. Grab a cup of tea or coffee or wine or whatever you like to drink. Have a snack maybe if you will. And just sit back and chill out and leave a comment. You can chit-chat with other people in the comments. It's a great community here. If you're new, enjoy. And if you're old, you know how this all goes, right? You're an old friend. It's been a good week. I've got my notes here. It's been very productive. I've got so much done this week. I have like a burst of energy. This project here is up in Critique Club. It's the 2nd February lesson. I've got to remember. Well, actually, by the time you're watching this, there will be the March prompt will be up, and you'll be able to see a huge painting that I did last weekend. Actually, it's on my Instagram page if you want to go check it out. But I did this huge 3-foot by 4-foot stretch canvas. It's been sitting in the room before forever. It's been probably, I don't know if it's been a decade, but it's been a long time. And I painted its companion piece, and then I didn't like it, and I just went over it. Then I did a palette knife painting of it, of birch trees with it last winter. I think I'd need to do like some big, huge painting every winter to kind of like push out the bad dust and mojo of winter and kind of welcome spring, I guess. Anyway, I did this really bright, colorful abstract piece that's currently hanging in my kitchen. But I cleaned out like behind this easel. It's if I remove my new stencils, they're selling well. I'll put a link to those in the video description. I cleaned out behind there. I had this big like catch-all behind the easel in the corner. I had this like crate that was just full of like backing boards to tape my work onto. It had the heated mat in there. It had all kinds of junk basically. And I cleaned that out. It's actually under my desk, but all organized now. And yeah, I had Jason actually got some plywood, and I had him put plywood behind the frame there that holds the paint, and I actually had kind of paint for show there, like just brand new tubes that hadn't even been opened, and I'm like, that's ridiculous. So I put my the paint that I had opened and using up there, so it was like tacked up on foam core, so even if I did take the bottles off and use them, then they'd probably just they'd all fall off because it wasn't secure. It wasn't very like secure and robust, but now that's plywood, and I can take the paint on and off and actually use it, and it's handy, and maybe it will spur some more large acrylic pieces. I don't know. But that was just something I did for fun, the painting last weekend. I just wanted to get color out and play and not film it and just enjoy. So hopefully with the easel cleared off, I will do that a lot more. I definitely feel like a really good energy in the space now. I have made it through I've made it through the swamp of desperation and the forest of loneliness to emerge into the springtime of hope and creativity. So I hope you're having similar feelings. It's been warm this week. I mean, the last 2 days has been cold. Yesterday was like, I don't know, teens when I walked the dog, and today it was maybe 20 and windy, so that wasn't pleasant. But other than that, it had been like in the 40s. It hit 50, and it was raining on Wednesday. So that, I mean, it just kind of feels like, okay, we're almost through it. We're in the spring of deception. That's in Maine. We'll get hit with some more winter weather, but then it will be like, okay, time to do the yard work, time to get ready for spring and summer. And I have a lot of yard work to do because we lost a lot of branches. We've had such windy weather that there's a bunch of like those little branches and stuff that needs to be picked up and all of that. But you know, I don't mind doing that in the spring because it's you're outside, you're moving around, the sun's shining, you're not freezing cold. It's anything is happier when the weather is pleasant, I think. You know, you can kind of enjoy any sort of manual labor in the yard if the weather's good. When it's cold and awful, it's not fun. So things frozen to the ground. You can't even move a branch if you want to because it's been like frozen down. Plus, I noticed the deer were eating the pine. I guess it was pine, some sort of fir off, or maybe bark. I'm not sure, off some of the branches that fell down. So I'm like, well, hey, it's helping the wildlife, so I'm not gonna feel bad. And I guess people say you should leave like the detritus in your yard longer to help the pollinators. So I'm not sure. It seems like we have enough brush and stuff in the woods surrounding our yard, so I think we're fine. We have plenty of unkempt property. But so that's what I've been up to. Just I've been going through, and I've started filming this new series called Studio Sesh. or studio sessions. I don't know if I should call it studio sesh, because I think the studio sesh, I'm going to go with studio sesh, because that's kind of like, yes, casual. It's, you know, usually playing with like a different material that I've played with for a while, kind of maybe like cleaning up a certain, like I was filling my Gin House Shark fountain pens that I bought back Black Friday when I had my like last, Want Monster got loose and bought a bunch of stuff, episode. And I was like, at first I was just gonna fill a couple of the pens because I didn't have proper fountain pen ink. And like these pens are like $1 something a piece. They're not expensive. I bought them to use the inks I had and to experiment with. Stop making everything so precious and just find something, try it, see if it works. If not, you can clean the pen out. You know, I highly doubt you're gonna like fatally injure these pens. So yeah, I did a video on just like filling and testing and playing with pens, and I found a bunch of other pens that I had in my hoard, and I was filling those up. Actually, I put them all in this container, and then I put the container here. I also went through all my pastel pencils because when I was doing this here, I had used Naomi pastel pencils. And they're actually quite lovely, but they were like a portrait collection kind of, and I'm like, I would get way more use of these if they were with all my other pastels. And then I realized I actually have a set of 24 Derwent pastel pencils that are in a case, and I have a set of 36 Carbothello pastel pencils that are in the case, and I kept the Carbothellos in a case because I thought, well, I'm going to review these. I'm going to put them through the paces, review them, but I'm like, I haven't used them because they're in that case, and I'm going to grab this container here when I want to use my pastel pencils because they're all right there, divided up by color, and I have a good assortment. So I'm like, I'm going to put them in there so I actually use them. So I'm like, well, I felt guilty not doing a review of them since I bought them. But I thought, you know, why don't I just do a comparison? So I did kind of a studio sesh where I did a comparison with the different brands of pastel pencils I have. I don't have all the brands, not nearly. Just to see how they rated against each other. And I mean, they're all pretty decent. Honestly, they're all pretty comparable, I'd have to say. And, but they have different prices. And I'm like, oh, that way I could just kind of introduce some people to some stuff maybe they haven't used or maybe they do have. And then I had my Derwent one separate because I do these Derwent classes for Michaels. But I typically don't like to use pastel pencils in the live classes because I don't know what it is. When I turn on the camera and I try to do something with a pastel pencil and I try to sharpen it, I will break the lead every time. It can work flawlessly when the camera's not rolling, but as soon as the camera's rolling, I break those guys. And I don't want to do that on like a sponsored, a sponsored class. So I'm like, I'm going to put them in here where I'm actually going to use them. And it's funny because I had an old set of Derwent 24 before they changed to that little wave design on the cap. And the colors are different in that 24 set from this new 24 set. So now I have them all together. And I just love them. And then I'm like, I was debating whether or not I want to keep my ink-filled brush pens, water brushes in here. Because it's like, I haven't used them in so long. And I'm like, it's because they were way over there. So what I did was I put them in that cubby on my desk. You can see the hole where it goes. Because if they're there, I will use them. I've used my pan pastels so much more. Like I used some pan pastels for accents on that. I use the pan pastels so much more because they're right there. And yeah, I think sometimes you just need to bring in some new energy into your space, whether it's your home, your living room, your bedroom, your kitchen, just by moving some stuff around. Maybe not in your kitchen because that might be annoying if you're like, where is the garlic powder? Why is there a spatula there? You maybe don't want to go too crazy there, but move things around, let some fresh energy come in. I think we get used to stuff being in the same space and we just stop seeing it. We get like clutter blind to it. So it always feels so good when you do that. And I put all my fountain pens in a couple of the front little pockets there. And then while I was cleaning this out, I found all some ink brush pens that I had. It's like just like India ink brush pens. I'm like, oh my gosh, these need to get in rotation a little bit better. So yeah, so I got these all out to play with. So I did a studio sesh on the pastel pencils. They did a studio sesh on the fountain pens. I did a studio, was it a studio sesh? I did something with some crayons. But yeah, so it's going to be kind of like, I talked about the year favorites and wanting to use my favorite supplies more, but being a little leery of reviewing those favorite supplies because, for one thing, I'm kind of biased. I like them a lot, and they're they might even seem more high quality because I've been reviewing so many budget products lately. And if you watched last week's podcast with Harry from the Art Gear Guide, we talked all about like whether it's more important to review the legacy brands or the budget brands. And he talked about how he thinks it's more important to review the budget brands at the moment because we all know how good Caran d'Ache and Derwent and Faber-Castell and you know, Schminke and all those brands are, but we don't know these dark horse brands that, you know, could be great, could be awful, could be the exact same thing of something else you have. So yeah, he talked about that being a little bit more important to review now for him. And, you know, I think I've always kind of felt that the newer things are a little more important to review because people are seeing that and they're wondering, can I save, you know, $30 and get those and have the same experience? So, but I'm getting kind of burnt out on a lot of the reviews, especially the budget products, because you just see the same thing over and over again, and it's like, man, I've already just reviewed this, and if I'm spending my time doing paintings for these reviews, you know, I'd rather be doing paintings with the stuff that I love, the tried and true materials. And I mean, yeah, I will get tempted. I know I will get tempted and try some cheap and cheerful product because that's who I am. I am distracted by the new and shiny, but I definitely think these studio session videos where I'm using kind of more tried and true things, or just kind of like, let's see how this goes, casual videos will be fun. I'm enjoying making them. Whether anybody wants to watch them, I don't know, but I got a few of those done this week, and I think that will be kind of fun. And I also like it when I can turn the camera on when I'm really excited about doing something, and hopefully pass that excitement and inspiration on to you, and then you'd be like, oh my gosh, I have something just like that. I'm gonna go try that and see if that works for me. I think stuff like that. It's kind of like what I started doing on the channel when I first, you know, what made me want to start a YouTube channel was I want to share this thing I'm excited about, and I want to bring some more of that vibe. I mean, podcast is a perfect example. I haven't been so excited about something in so long as doing the podcast and talking to interesting people that I admire, talking about art, talking about ideas. I think that's fun, and hopefully it's inspiring. I'm getting some great feedback in the comments. Some feedback that I've been getting that has been negative has been the amount of ads that YouTube has been putting on certain videos, and it's certain videos. It's not all videos, and it's not all people. I don't think, because I think they must be targeting certain people they think are tolerant of ads. I'm not sure, but these people are definitely not tolerant. They're very upset by them. And YouTube took away our ability to moderate how many ads will go in a video. It's either you have them on or you don't. And I will be completely honest, I make a sizable amount of my income from YouTube ads on these free videos. I'm able to put out all these free videos because I know my time will be accounted for. And I'm like everybody else, I need to make a living. I've got kids in college and a house to run and whatnot. So those ads help pay the bills. And so I can't turn them off. But I wish we could still have control over, like, having maybe, you know, one advertisement every half an hour rather than an advertisement whenever YouTube decides that they can sneak them in there, which is really frustrating. So I apologize if you've been getting peppered with ads. I would think if you skip the ads or skip some of the ads, it would maybe temper things. I don't know. I kind of wish YouTube would just do, instead of this whole skippable ad thing, why don't you just do like a short non-skippable ad at the beginning of a video and then just let it go, and that way everyone's ad quotas are maintained, the advertisers get their stuff shown, rather than having to play the same ad 50 times because people have skipped it 50 times, you know. It just doesn't seem to make sense. But I don't run YouTube, so I don't know. I'm sure their algorithm has some grand plan of why they do it the way they do it, but they did take control away from creators to limit the amount of ads on the mid-rolls. And I felt like I should explain it anyway. I'm not trying to put 50 ads in a podcast, but you know, I do need to let some ads run just because it's one of the legs in the stool of my business. I know, I'm such a sellout. I'm such a sellout. So what else is new? Oh my gosh, I have been, well, super inspired this week, super energetic, and I've been waking up super early. I've been waking up at like 5, 6 in the morning and ready to go, like getting up, turning on the coffee pot, hopping on the computer, doing some editing, just completely motivated. And I think it's because spring is coming, the days are longer, and we're going to be going to daylight savings time in like, I think another week or two. Very much ready for that. I've even started falling asleep at like 9 o'clock. Like, can't keep my eyes open. It's like the sand, my eyes are sandy. Do you feel like that when you're like getting tired? It's like, it feels like you have like sand in your eyes. You need to go to sleep. Yeah, that's been hitting me about 8:30, 9 o'clock, 9:30 maybe. I've been tired, and I am like a, people say, do you ever sleep? It's like, I am an 8-hour-a-night girl. I go to bed when I'm tired and I sleep till I'm done. I usually wake up around 6, but that means I usually fall asleep around 10. I need that solid chunk of sleep. I can't take naps. I need to like get all that sleep in the evening. But when I feel, I don't know, when the days get longer, I perk up just like, I don't know, just like birds, I don't know, the grass, tree leaves, I don't know. But definitely feeling the joy of spring. I think it was Robin Williams that said, spring is nature's way of saying let's party, or something like that. I think that was him that said that. I'm probably butchering the quote, but yeah, that's how I feel. I feel like, all right, time to go plein air painting. It's too cold, but time to like think about going plein air painting. Oh, the funnest thing happened. Well, I don't know. I think it was the funnest thing. I was like the gin house shark. These paints. Look, they look like sharks. How cute. Let's get a shark color. What are sharks? Blue? Bluish grayish. They look like sharks. They're so cute. Can you stand it? So I've got a set of 12 of these on Amazon for like $18. Anyway, and they're all filled with nice and juicy liquid watercolor ink, except for 3 of them which have waterproof ocean fountain pen ink in them. But anyway, oh, the case they came in this plastic case that had these like dividers that kept them organized, but the dividers went halfway to the middle of the case, and then there was no divider. And I'd been seeing this thing that some plein air painters that paint with oil paints, and I suppose it could be, I suppose like oil painters, maybe acrylic painters would use it too, maybe gouache painters, but definitely oil painters, and they're called palette garages, I think, and it's like this strip of, I think it's metal, and there are these dividers. I'm thinking it's aluminum, and there's like these dividers. So you've got kind of like an L bracket, say, and it's got these dividers all the way, like every inch or so. And that way you squeeze your paint out before you leave your house to go on your plein air painting adventure. And then it's in this, like, usually have it like in a plastic container with like maybe a cotton ball with some clove oil to keep it from spoiling, I guess. And then you would pop it on your pochade box or your French easel, and you would do your painting, because it would hold quite a bit of paint. The paint would stay fresh. And I was thinking that case, which I've already stuck in the room of Hoard with my plein air kits, I'm like, that would be perfect, because not only do you have the strip where you could put your paint, but then you've got the lid, because it's like clamshell open, you got the lid you could mix on if you wanted to. And you've got this extra space. I think that's going to work out really well for that. And then I don't have to feel bad that I'm not keeping my precious little shark pens in the precious little case that came in the precious little sleeve, which was keeping me from using them, because they're all a set and they're all precious. I can't possibly fill up one of them and separate it from its shark family in my pen collection. No, they've got to all stay together. So this way they stay together. But now it's better because they're with my other pens, all living happily in their communal setting. And you know what I was thinking about? Why don't we still have communes? And I'm not talking about cults. I don't think cults are good, but like communal living. And when you think about, I've been thinking about like third spaces and 15-minute cities, and just like places where you have a community and you can walk places and be around people with similar interests, people that you enjoy, not maybe always people that are like, that have the same exact beliefs, but people you can get along with. And I think of like college as kind of being one of these perfect 15-minute city places. You could walk to every place you need to go. Maybe, probably more like romanticizing college in the 90s when I went, where, if you were sick, you could walk to the nurse or the little health clinic and get what you need. You walk to the dining commons to get your food. You walk to your classes where you would learn or work, or, I'd walk to the little college radio station where I would work. And most everything you did, and everything like my first year of college where I didn't have my car on campus, we did right there. And it's like, why don't people do that anymore? Wouldn't it be fun, like, if you got together with a bunch of friends and you bought, like, I don't know, a floor of an apartment building, or you all decided to live someplace close together, and there was like infrastructure where there was like a grocery store, and there was a gym, and there was employment opportunities, or people could work from home, or co-working spaces or something. It just seems like that would be so nice. And when my husband talks about where he grew up, which is a little town near here, they had a mill. You know, his dad could walk to work. His mom was a homemaker. He would ride his bike all over town. He could walk to school, ride his bike to school, ride his bike to the store, ride his bike to the pizza place. You know, everything, ride a bike to a friend's house or walk to a friend's house. Everything was so close and accessible. And I think that's so cool. And I really think that places like that could thrive. And it seems like, why do we have to be either in college or be in a retirement village to experience that? It seems like that would be such a nice way for most people to live, you know, to know your neighbors, to, you know, have friends nearby, to be able to walk to places you need to go. It just seems like that would be so nice. But I don't know. I don't run the world either. I don't run YouTube. I don't run the world. I don't, why don't they ask me? They should ask me these things. I feel like an expert. I think I know. I think I know what's good. I know what's good. I know what's good for everybody. I know what's good for me. But then again, on the other hand, I like having a yard. I like having space. I like having autonomy. You know, it's one of those things that is very at odds with our individualistic, modern sensibilities, I suppose. Speaking of knowing what's good, a friend of mine that has a craft store, art store, asked me if I would try out a set of paints to see if she should stock them. And I did this little layout here, and I didn't film it, but I think it's wicked cute. This here, I'm going to post this on Instagram for my SketchbookFloozies, which anybody can be a SketchbookFloozy. You do not have to buy my stencils to be a SketchbookFloozy. If you have sketchbooks that you want to use up, if you buy more sketchbooks than one at a time, if you have more sketchbooks going than one at a time, I should say, you're a SketchbookFloozy. You are welcome to join in the SketchbookFloozy challenge. But my husband has been on this kick of making what are they called? White Russians. It's Kahlua, which is a coffee liqueur and vodka, and he'll make mine with soy milk. He'll make his with half and half. And it's, I guess it was a popular drink from like the Big Lebowski, but we'd gone out to dinner a couple weekends ago, and we went to this little Thai restaurant, and we were ordering cocktails, and I got one called a Hello Kitty, and it has a nitrogen bubble on the top, and it's like in a martini glass, and it's pink, and it tastes like a sweet tart. It is so good. Anyway, so it's like this nitrogen bubble that's all full of smoke when you get it, and anyway, so that's delicious. I don't know I think they make it with like grapefruit vodka, and I think it's got like orange flavors, and maybe, I think it had watermelon something in it, but it didn't taste watermelon, because I'm kind of leery of watermelon flavored things, because I like watermelon, but I don't like dehydrated watermelon or pureed watermelon. It's like, I like fresh, crispy, cold watermelon. But that was very good. I'll have to look up the recipe of that, but it seems like it's complex, and I'll probably only get it if I go out to dinner with someone who make it for me with a nitrogen bubble on it. But anyway, he had a White Russian, and it was delish, and he actually had two, and I drove home that night. And then he was making them at home, and so I took a picture of the last one he made me. I'm like, that looks so cute, especially with my mid-century modern yellow chair in the background. It's kind of blurry because I just let it, you know, kind of fuzz out. Anyways, I was trying out this new paint. The paint's fine. I don't think it's anything spectacular. So I don't know. I gave my honest opinion to my friend, and she's like, okay, I think I'm probably gonna hold off on it. I want to do a review on the paint, but it's not available in this country, so I probably won't. It's pretty hard to find. So, I don't know, but I do like how that came out, and it was a lot of fun to paint. And I think my little, whatever this drink here is a little lopsided. I just found that on Unsplash because I needed another cocktail to put there. But I like that layout. I used the layout, I think I used the 8x8, which is this it? This is a 6x6, I'm pretty sure, but I used this layout here, and so I used, or maybe, actually, you know what? No, I used that one, but I used like the circle and this, and then I cut it off here and used this part here, and then I carried on the circle design, and then I used the tick marks from the bottom there to draw that shape, and I threw in the banner. Oh, you know what I did? No, what I did was, there's so many different ways to use this. What I did was I used I used it this way. And I used the circle and the stripe down and then I combined that shape underneath for this, and then I just added the end of the little flag there. So yeah, these are so versatile. You can do so many different things, and then you get the insides of these stencils too, so you can piece them around the way you want. In case you don't want to use the template, you can take all the innies and you can kind of quilt the piece together the way you want it. But super fun, a lot of fun. What else do I have on my list? Oh, I've been watching the show Capote. It's Feud, Capote versus the Swans. Oh my gosh, such a great show. It's on FX, but if you have Hulu, it's on Hulu, even if you have the cheap one, which is what we have. It's a great show. I'm really enjoying it. It's I guess it's a drama, but it's just kind of, I don't know, it's kind of interesting. It's about Truman Capote and his society, his socialites that he would hang out with, and how he kind of totally threw them under the bus and wrote an expose about their like high society life and stuff. But very interesting. I'm enjoying it. Then I watched a documentary on Truman Capote that I think was also on Hulu. So very interesting man. I really didn't know much about him. I had seen the movie Breakfast at Tiffany's. That was the extent of my Truman Capote experience, and I'm finding it very interesting. And I think I want to read some of his other books. Maybe, probably not In Cold Blood, because I'm not a big nonfiction murder reader, but maybe some of the fiction. I'm not sure. It was a great show though. Oh, and a couple pieces of crafty news close to my heart is closing in a couple of months, so I just want to mention that in case you guys are close to my heart customers and you want to stock up on anything before they go. I hear the cardstock is great. I have some of their stamps. Their stamps are really good quality. I bought the only ones I've bought have been from a stamp show from a close to my heart rep, because they are like a multi-level marketing company, and I think a lot of those types of companies have had a really hard time, and plus crafting companies have had a really hard time over the last few years. There's been a lot that have, or quite a few that have closed their doors, or really just, there's a lot that are really suffering low sales, I think, with people kind of leaving the hobby, and also competition with sites like Temu and Amazon with a lot of counterfeits that are, you know, really competing with the higher end stuff or the legitimate products. And then people just having a lot of stuff and not needing to buy extra, and also just changing trends, I think. And sadly, Darkroom Door is closing. Their stamps are gorgeous. I have quite a few of their stamps. If you search Darkroom Door on my blog or YouTube channel, you'll probably find a bunch of different tutorials using their stamps, card making ones, especially back when I did videos for Top Flight stamps. I just bought their bottle stamps back at the big Black Friday hoorah, where I just bought everything I wanted. I bought the I bought the Darkroom Door bottle stamps and used those. They have such lovely designs, but the owner, it was co-owned. It was a couple that owned it. The wife passed away, or the woman passed away, and the fella's gonna close it down, I think at the end of the month. So yeah, I would say if you're interested in any of their stamps, I would get them now, because they're not making them anymore, and unless they sell the line to somebody else, then getting those will be impossible. It's such a shame. I feel so sorry for him and losing his partner and whatnot. It's yeah, you don't know how much time you have, guys. That's why I want you to use the good stuff. Use your favorite paint. Use your favorite paper. Don't save it for best. Don't save that huge canvas in the corner of your closet for that perfect project, because you may never get to paint that perfect project unless you do it now. So with that, I want to leave you this Saturday with the inspiration to go get the good stuff out and paint with it. That's not a waste. You are worth it. Use the good stuff and create something beautiful today. Thank you so much for watching. Please give me a thumbs up before you go. And until next time, happy crafting. Bye!